Hi all, welcome to Salesforce in 5 minutes. In this video, we are going to understand what is a trigger and how to write a trigger in Salesforce. Specifically, we are going to focus on what is a before trigger and when do we use before triggers. So basically, whenever we have to do any kind of a validation or whenever we have to update the same record, as I have told in my previous video, the link to the previous video is in my description. So whenever we have to perform any kind of a validation or whenever we have to do any kind of update on the same object, so that if I'm writing a trigger on account, I want to update the account object field on the same trigger. In that cases we can do that in before triggers. So this is where we use before triggers in Salesforce. So let's jump to our developer console. But first of all, let us understand what is the use case. So in this video, we are going to cover this use case, that while creating an account, make sure to active the account. So what does this use case means? That when the user goes and clicks on the new button, and when he goes and if he does not check this is active checkbox, do not allow him to create an account unless and until he makes this is active checkboxes true. Unless and until he makes this is active checkboxes true, do not make allow him to create an account. If he does not marks this as active, show him an error. So this is how the use case is. In order to do this, I am going to write a trigger. So for that, just go to your developer console and then go to the file, new, and apex trigger. I'm going to write it as account. And it is asking for the object. So this is the object I am providing. So the account, the overall structure has been created. So as we have to write it inside the before insert, that means if before inserting the record inside the account, we have to check whether the is active checkbox is true or not. So we are going to write it inside the before insert context. So now whichever record, right now if I'm going to create a new, if I'm going to click on new, and if I'm going to provide the test account for YouTube, if I want this particular account right now which I'm creating in my apex class, if I want it, I can get it using trigger.new. So inside using the trigger.new, you get the new versions of the record. New version of the record is obtained using the trigger.new. So if you want this account, this particular account which you are creating inside your apex class, you can obtain it using trigger.new. And let's consider this our Salesforce org, whichever Salesforce org we are providing. It is being used in our company throughout the world. So multiple people are working in our Salesforce org, and multiple people can create account in our Salesforce org. So there might be possibility that at least 500 or 600 people might click new button at the same time and create the account at the same time. So for this purpose, the trigger.new always return the list of the account. Not only one account it will return the list of the record or list of the account in our case right now. So it will return the list of the account. So as if it will return the list of the account, we need to iterate each of the account one by one. So for this purpose, we have to apply a for loop for account ACC So trigger.new will bring all the new accounts that are getting created inside ACC one by one. It will pick up all the new accounts, and it will, now we are going to get one by one account record inside it, and inside that we are going to do so what we are checking while creating a new account, whatever the new account that are going to get created, are going to pass inside the trigger.new, and we are going to pick one of the account at that one by one account at the each time, and then we are going to check whether the is active is false. This means is active is not checked. Then add error basically is used in order to fire an error or show an error on the screen. So what we are trying to do over in this trigger, that we are going to get each of the account at this all of the account at the same time, and then we are going to take one by one account and using for loop, and then we are going to check whether is active equals to false. If is active equals to false, then we are going to show that okay, add an error saying that account must be active and stop the execution. So right now if I go and if I create this account and if I do not check this as active checkbox right now and I click on save, as you can see I'm getting an error, account must be active. And if I check this checkbox and I click on save, I will be able to create a new account. So this is how we use before inserts in Salesforce to provide the validation. I hope you understood what is before trigger in Salesforce and how do we provide a validation in Salesforce and add error and what is trigger.new. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel.